What's really getting in the way of being productive? My name is John Briggs. I'm author of the 3.3 Rule. It focuses a lot on how to create more by doing less. In my tax firm this year, we spent $13 million on our team. And so productivity is really important to me because that $13 million could be a cost to the business or it could be an investment. And if the team is productive, then it became an investment. But if they're not producing as much as they need to, then it was a cost, and that's not as great. And so we are constantly looking at ways on how to be more productive. Did a lot of research for my book on productivity, things that get in the way, things we can do to be productive. Today, I'm going to talk about things that I've observed that happen to hurt our productivity just by being human and living in the world that we live in. I'm going to do another video that focuses on some hidden roadblocks that relate to hurting our productivity, but it's connected to the business processes and systems. But this one is if you're human, chances are you may have these issues and they're hurting your productivity. So the first one is going to be distractions, meaning text messages, emails. We have an internal messaging system that we use. We use Slack, but lots of people have other softwares they use for that. All those things can pop up and be distractions. Even team members, well-intentioned, but they still distract you. They might pop in with an interruption. All those things take us off of what we really need to be producing or being productive doing. And so how do we avoid that? Big fan of time blocks. Using timers even if you need to. For some people that works really well, but like the dedication that I am sitting down for a time period and I'm going to get this done, or I am focusing until this is done. And then I'm going to follow that with a rest block. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the rest block in a second, but the time block is a way to help us avoid these distractions. The second thing is no direction. Now this can show up in two different ways that I've seen. One is we procrastinate, which means basically we don't do anything. And then the other side, no direction can show up in the form of us doing all the things. And unfortunately, all the things aren't usually the important things because we just find ourselves being busy but not productive. And so we really need to step back, take some time to figure out, what do I want the business to do? Where do I want it to go? What am I hoping to accomplish? From that thought process and taking the time, you'll be able to figure out goals. And then those goals should lead to action items that you now can see you should take to get to that goal. And so whether you procrastinate or do too much, having these action items tied to the direction you want to go is going to help you avoid that, because I now no longer have the fear of, well, I don't know what to do. Well, I already took the time to know what I should be doing, so let's get to it. And I will also be able to avoid being busy doing all the things because I can filter the things I need to do through the lens of, is this helping me take the action to hit this goal that I've set aside for the business? What we want to be doing is spending our time on the things that are considered most important, whether those are urgent or not urgent. And we definitely want to minimize how much time we're spending on those urgent, not important things, which tend to be the production killers. And hopefully you get to the point where you can identify what those urgent, not important things are, and you can pay someone to do those for you. So the last thing I'll talk about that's stopping us from actually being productive is we aren't taking breaks. Now this is very counter to the hustle culture and all those really wealthy millionaire billionaires, whether they really are or not. Some of them actually are, but they're touting that message, you should be killing yourself. And how dare you think you'll be successful unless you kill yourself and you're tired all the time. So just get used to being tired. Well, the science doesn't support that. By not taking breaks, you are intentionally sabotaging your ability to be productive. Your brain actually cycles, my brain does too, I'm not trying to pick on you. Our brains naturally cycle through a state of focus and distractibility. Focus, distractibility. It's a natural cycle. And so instead of jumping on the bandwagon of, hey, let's listen to these guys who say I'm worthless because I'm not willing to kill myself, and I should be willing to work 20 hours straight, and I should be willing to not have family or a relationship with my family. Let's forget those people. The chances are they don't have the work-life balance that you actually want in your life. To them, work is life. And I think they're missing out on a big piece of happiness. And so if you're on board with those guys, look, great. Follow their advice. I'm not that guy. I think having the ability to do things outside of work is a major piece of my happiness. And I've seen it in other people's lives. It's a major part of their happiness as well. And so to have a fulfilling life, I believe in work-life harmony. And so hustle culture is not my thing. So take breaks. And I mentioned it before in the first one. If you have a time block where you're focused on doing work and you don't let distractions get in the way, you need to follow that with a rest block. And what that rest block is literally no work. So you can go let your mind wander. You can go take a walk. You can be distracted during the rest block, as long as it's not work related. And once you do it long enough, you will notice that you are able to time those rest breaks with the natural cycle when your brain's already cycling through a period of distractibility. It embraces it. It allows us to then come back completely energized and with the ability to refocus when we sit back down again. So there you go. Just a few things I've observed over the years, managing more than a couple hundred people. And with the profitability desire for them to be productive, I've noticed these things have gotten in the way sometimes. And so those were my solutions. If you found this helpful, I wrote a book called The 3.3 Rule, where I talk about a scientifically proven method to help people be more productive and more profitable. And so feel free to check that out. The link is down below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.